So today in class we discussed the type on a path tool, which is a really great tool because it allows us to type on open and closed paths. By open paths I mean this, a line that doesn't connect, and closed paths do, so things that you would make with the shape tool. To use this you're going to have to start off with something to draw on, so some sort of path, open or closed. Then to activate the tool we're going to go where the type tool is, click and hold, and type on a path tool should be there. Looks like an eye with a little cursor going through it. To use this tool, you simply click on any path that you have. When you do so, just know it's going to remove all the color, okay? It's going to fill it with that dummy text, that lorem ipsum. So you can type any word you want. And because it's live type, you can select the type and edit it like you would normally on any type. You can change the font, the style, all of that. Now, the other thing to know with this tool is that sometimes you want more control over where your lines start, end, and the directions your words go in. That's where you're going to need to use the direct selection tool, the white arrow. When I activate my white arrow on a type on a path I've created, I will see three lines: the start line to the left, the center line, and the end line. The start line will dictate, if I click and pull, where my words are allowed to start. That's really it. The end line is exactly where I want it capped off. Okay? If you get something like this little red plus, that means there's more words than space. So you might want to move your end line or make your words smaller. Lastly, this middle line, which is a little hard to see, so let me get a little closer. This middle line here will dictate the direction. So when you hover your mouse with the direct selection tool over any of these lines, you'll get a little symbol. And if I pull, I can change the direction my type is going in. It could be above the line, inside the line, going left to right or right to left. Okay? Same goes with shapes. If I take my type on a path tool with the shape, I write. I have the control when I go to my direct selection tool to change if the word is going inside the circle or outside, the direction it's going in, where it starts and where it ends. Okay, so these lines are really handy. Now for today's activity, you're going to practice starting off with creating a circle with the ellipse tool and typing the words type on a path. Please follow the settings here I've provided on your character panel so it matches. The ellipse shape should roughly be the one I have here that you see in blue. Once you're done with that, I'm going to ask you to practice putting type on a path for logos, which is where you see this done quite often. So for example, the logo here on the right is empty and the left has the words organic 3 times. So in order for you to do that, first you have to have a circle. And I recommend holding shift so it's a perfect circle. I'm going to move the circle I make here, activate my type on a path, and simply start typing. You're allowed to use any font you want as well as the size of the font, but I do recommend 1, that all the words fit, so I might have to make my font smaller. 2, that it looks like it belongs. Okay, and I also think matching the color is really nice. Right, that one's pretty simple. The second one's going to require 2 circles, and the reason for that is that the word coffee on top is going left to right and it's on top of the circle, but the word shop is like inside the circle. So anytime you have more than one word going in a different direction, you're going to need a second circle to have a second path. So we're going to start off the same, just making a circle. All right, I'm going to make 2 copies of this time. So I'm hitting Control C, Control V. I'm going to place the first circle here and type the word coffee with my type on a path tool. I'm going to change these settings to make it look good. Once I'm done with that word, I'm going to bring the other circle here and write the word shop with type on a path. Now the problem is shop is going in the wrong direction. So I'm going to need my direct selection tool and I'm going to need to pull this little middle line to go inward. Okay, I'm pulling it inside the circle. Instead of it's out, I'm going inward. Okay, and then I can kind of decide the start and stop for where shop should be. Okay, so any one of these logos that has 2 words, you're going to need 2 circles for. You're going to repeat those techniques for the next 2 logos and take your time making sure the logos match the style, the font. You don't have to have the same fonts I do, but it should look like it belongs to the design. Okay. When you're done, you can try the extension where you'll be making your own logo dependent on which vector you choose. These are made for you and you can activate them and save often so you don't lose your progress.